Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Mr. Solar Effect, shouting for the RB Talk Show. Listen, I got one of the biggest guests of 2026 on my show. She's award-winning singer, songwriter, and comedian actress, Brely Evans. Welcome to the RB Talk Show. How you doing?
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
I tell you, to me, it's an honor, because I never got a chance to interview somebody that has so many titles on the name. Usually, it's one thing already. It's singer, then the actor come later. But you've been doing this both for like years and stuff. And to me, this is history on my end.
I love that for you. I love it for us. Yeah, I started singing first, singing in my church choir, and that matriculated to being in different girl groups. And then one of those girl groups got a record deal. So I started there, and then someone one day said, "You should be an actor." And I tried it and been doing that ever since.
Wow. Did you ever have like acting experience before, or people just telling you, say, hey, you should go ahead and do it?
I mean, I had been in like church plays, but I don't think that counts.
Yeah. Hey, it's just like the early like baby steps at the beginning of it.
Right. I guess it got me my the sea legs, as they say. Yeah, I was never nervous, so yeah.
Oh wow. Because with some people, you can look at them and be like, you know what? They look like they could do this, amounts of stuff. Because I think what it is, sometimes when a guy reveals, when they look at a person, they can just automatically tell, like, that's in you. You may not know, spiritually or mentally, but when you performed it, they be like, wow, how did they know? You know what I'm saying? Just at that moment, at that time.
Yeah, that's kind of how it was for me, because my neighbor, he kind of discovered me because he was like, "Oh, you're that girl on that TV show." I was like, "No." I was like, "Who do I look like to you?" He's like, you're that famous girl." I'm like, "No, I'm not." And he's like, "Well, you should be." So he introduced me to his agent, and I've been working literally ever since.
Wow. Now, correct me on this. You met the legendary R.I.P. Dwayne Wiggins during the early of your career and stuff. And what was he like when you and the ladies at that time y'all met him in the studio or wherever y'all
Oh my
did it?
goodness. Where was I when I first met Dwayne? Ay, ay, ay. I can't even remember, because we grew up with Tony, him and Ray. We grew up around in Oakland, right? And we just looked
Mhm.
up to them because we loved their music for so many years. So getting a chance to work with them was just like mind blowing, right? But we were teenagers telling them, we want to sing. They're like, yeah. But when we started like making moves, and Dress from Black Sheep got us that record deal, they was like, "Y'all got a record deal?" So it was easy to pull them in to say, "Come and do some songs on our album." So it was cool.
Yeah. Where was you at when you found out of his passing?
I was in Atlanta or LA. But I'll tell you this, the first thing that came to my heart was that I was in Africa shooting a movie. I shot a movie in Ghana in 2022. And I was there shooting this movie, and someone said, Tony is performing here. And I said, take me to the show. Like, this is my people. I get there, and Dwayne is like, come on stage. I'm like, oh my God. So it was really cool to be all the way in Africa, and Dwayne pulls me on stage and is like, this is my home girl from home. We all the way in Africa. Like, from being that little girl looking up to him saying, I want to sing, to being a grown adult in my own movie in Ghana with one of my, people I looked up. I mean, man, that man, he just influenced so much. And people don't know that he's actually the one that found Beyonce. Like, it was him
Mhm.
who said, Beyonce, yeah, this group can go, right? It was him who put them on. Like, they started in Oakland, their dad bringing them around. Dwayne, you know what I'm saying? People need to know, like, Dwayne, he has ignited so many careers, and I'm just blessed to be one of them.
Yeah, R.I.P. to the GOAT, and I don't think he got the credit he deserved, like you said, to discover Destiny Child, and look where Beyonce's career just took off,
Yes.
from that camp
Okay.
itself, but it's politics, in every situation and stuff. moving forward from there, you also did stuff with Warren G, Dr. Dre on the Chronic album.
Yeah, no, I wasn't on the Chronic album, but guess what? I was working at Larrabee Studios as a front desk girl while they were recording
Wow.
the Chronic album. And I think I was wiping a desk, wiping down a kitchen or something, and I was humming. And I think Snoop or somebody said, wait, hold up. You sing? I was like, yeah. He's like, oh, you about to be my next Diana Ross. And then Warren was like, nah, man, she about to sing on my stuff. It was so crazy. So I ended up singing some background for them on a few songs that they were writing. I did like a duet with Nate Dogg before. Like I just was so blessed. It was really cool to be around to watch the making and seeing all the different people come around. Like it was crazy. But yes, so I watched literally with my own two eyes the Chronic being recorded.
Well, when you look at those situations, and especially when people always talk about death row and YouTube blogs, and people talk about those early days, you think to yourself like, wow, I got a chance to be a part of something, and look where it's at now. It's just incredible.
I wasn't a part of it, but I was around. It just goes to show you that those guys who people say all those things about, they are focused. They know how to get in that studio and lock in. We would be there, 16, 18 hours a day. You know what I'm saying? Like it was 24-hour recording sessions. So I think a lot of I didn't probably realize what that was doing to me just watching it. It gave me a tenacity, it gave me to watch how people lock in. I don't care how much fun you think they're having. They know how to get that work done.
Yeah, absolutely. It's tough, because like that'll motivate you, then there's something wrong.
Right. Super motivating to say I was in the building when they recorded some songs on Chronic. Like that's crazy.
Yeah. Fast forward up a bit, the 2000s was coming in. So what was your mindset at, as you, was trying to say, okay, what career should I go with? Should I stick with the singing, and let me go ahead and pursue this acting? So what was you at during those times mentally?
Well, yeah. Well, my parents kept preaching, you need to go to college, you need to go to college. So right around the 2000s is when one of the girls in my group had left the group. I was in a 3-girl R&B group called Image. And if you go to YouTube, you can see one of our music videos called The Choice Is Yours. We were produced by Black Sheep. So our first single was actually the same as their song, The Choice Is Yours. So one of the girls left the group and I was like, dang, my parents kept saying, get this degree. So I went back to school and actually got my college degree. And then that just wasn't good enough for me though. So I moved to LA at that time. And that's when I started working at, the studio and singing. Like I would sing on the weekends at different nightclubs. If you're from LA, old school Townhouse, I would get $100 a night, just to sing all these R&B songs with my girls. And we would just be in there singing. And then one day somebody said, are you an actress on the show? And I said, no. And he introduced me to my agent. And life took off from there.
Wow. Now, correct me on this. One of your first films was He's Mine, Not Yours.
Oh, my goodness. I'm so glad you brought that up. People never credit that as one of my first. Not He's Mine, Not Yours. It was called Outrighteous. And Outrighteous was a film that my good sister girlfriend, Tabitha Brown, was leading in. She and our girlfriend, Layla Odom. And she said, come down here. They need some extras. And my agent told me never be an extra because they're going to choose you because you got that pretty face and big bubbly personality. But I went down there anyway because my homegirl shooting the movie. She the lead. I'm going. So I went and lo and behold, they called me up there to be like a character. They called me Kim, and I was the choir director in that movie. And that was the very first independent film I did, Tony Mercedes. And if you're in the music industry, I dare you to look that name up. He's the one that produced that first film that I was in, Tony Mercedes.
I definitely will. So a year later, in 2012, another movie you was featured in called Note to Self.
Yes, that was by uh, um, Christian Keys. Christian Keys wrote Note to Self,
Okay.
and he allowed me to be in there, and I was so excited about being in that movie. I played alongside of Latoya, used to be in Destiny Child. Uh,
Yeah.
Latoya. So we were in that movie together, and what I loved about that set, it was he gave me a lot of creative freedom. I remember when the movie was coming out, he and we did a premiere, and we were having a panel discussion, and he was introducing me. He said, I would be remiss, he said out of his lips, I would be remiss to not acknowledge that Brély pretty much wrote all her lines, because she didn't say what was on the page. She said what she wanted to say, and she had y'all laughing. So, like, I was like, "Thank you, friend." I think he gave me my first, well, no, Queen Latifah gave me my first real, like, "Do you, boo boo?" Like, "Do you?" But when he said that, I felt like I can keep going. I can keep being me. I don't have to just stick to what's on the page. I can like bring myself to these characters, and that's what has gotten me a nice resume. Like really, being creative.
Wow. Around that time, that same year, you and the cast members did a remake of Sparkle. And what was the casting? I know it was like a tough, like, man, who should we pick, this and that. So did now, like, when it got the call, did it say, well, can you come back and do audition again, or you just got it right then and there?
No, so I auditioned for Sparkle on the set of, I think it was Paramount's lot. So imagine me walking and seeing all where people, like real shows that I watch are being
Yeah.
filmed. So amazing. And I remember being in that lobby with all these famous girls. I was like, why did they even bring me here? Everybody in here, I want to ask them for their autograph. I was like, oh my God, they go, they go, they go. Like my eyes was going crazy. And so I really was about to walk out. I was like, I don't even know why they got me here, because these girls is famous already. They're going to pick one of them. I literally heard a small voice say, those are your sisters. Don't compare yourself. I gave all of you talent, and your only assignment is to use what I gave you. I was
Wow.
like, what? Like, when I tell you that that was my first time like really hearing God audibly. Like he was like, I don't care if she can sing better than you, if she can act better. That don't matter. God proved it to me by giving me the role. He proved it.
Wow.
Not only did he say it, he proved his word. Because I was like, they sell tickets to this movie sitting in this lobby. Why would they even choose me? That doesn't make sense to me. But Twinkie Bird was the casting director, and I just want to give it up to her and thank her for giving me that opportunity. But I would be remiss if I did not say to my producers, who are the ones who, said to let me come in to audition for that, Mara and Salim Akil, like they set my life and career off. I will forever give it up to them for giving me an opportunity. But that was like crazy that I went in there, did the audition, and it was Twinkie's birthday because it was written on a wall. And I
Wow.
said, oh my God, it's your birthday. Happy birthday. And she said, you want to come to my birthday? I said, yes. Let me come to
Wow.
her birthday with a +1. I get there, she has an orange carpet. Orange is my favorite color. So I'm like, oh my God, it's my favorite color. And she's like, I'm tired of taking pictures. I said, please, please, one more picture. I want to get this picture with you, please, on this orange carpet. She whispered in my ear, congratulations, you booked the movie.
Wow.
I started doing the holy dance right there. I could not believe it. Like, that's how I found out I was going to be in Sparkle. I ran to the bathroom because it was a party, remember? Called my
Yeah.
mom. I'm going to be in Sparkle. My mom said, calm down. You ain't signed no paperwork yet. You ain't signed no paperwork yet. Calm down. Nothing's final till that ink is dry. I was like, ooh, thank you. Brought me back. So I can go into the party and act you that you go in there acting like you got something. I was like, oh, this is so good. So yeah, that's how I found out that I got that role on a orange carpet.
Yeah, you worked with so many heavy hitters in that movie. Oh God, was it Jordan Sparks, Mike Epps, and Whitney Houston, R.I.P. Just it's one thing,
Sumner, can't leave.
rehearsing, but
Yeah.
just to say the lines and action, you grew up listen to Whitney Houston. You know, we all did and stuff and
I had
everything.
a brush in my hand in the mirror singing Whitney Houston. Okay, yeah.
How did you stay in character, you know, and you look at her, you look at each other eye to eye?
Oh, I couldn't believe my life. I couldn't believe she was a real person. I just wanted to be like, I would be staring like, oh my gosh, she's putting her hand in her purse. She has a purse. Oh my God, she's going in her purse. She's putting on lipstick. Oh my God. Brely, when she would call my name, I would be like, oh my God. Come here, niece. Sing this. Woo, whoa. She would be singing things, telling me to sing it and harmonize with her. I was like, I can't believe my life. Back then, when we were shooting that movie, Teach Me How to Dougie was out. And she was like, come on, y'all,
Yeah.
teach me how to Dougie. Come on. Like she was getting us to teach her these dance moves. Like she was my auntie. She is my auntie. I forever acknowledge her as Auntie Whitney right now, today.
Well, I know when you look at those situations, it's like, regardless of anything, I got a chance to work with the icon. How people don't say they did that once in a lifetime, you know?
Once in a life, I can't make it up. I can't. It's like incredible.
Yeah. I interviewed a lady about last week. Her name is Beth, and she was a stand-in for Whitney for the movie you was in, Sparkle. And she said every time she saw Whitney, she froze, but she knew she had to get a character. And then she was supposed to be doing When Excel Part 2, but, you know, Whitney passed and everything and stuff. So when the movie came out, you know, Whitney, you know, already passed and stuff. You know, what was the emotions for you, the cast members, at that time?
Oh, devastation. I mean, it was terrible. It was like I lost a family member. I said Auntie Whitney, right? Like I was like, no, God, come on. She just became my aunt. Like, come on. Oh man, it was devastating. But the blessing is that we got the opportunity. Because that movie was supposed to have been came out. They were supposed to do that movie, you know, with oh my gosh, rock the boat, with
Leah.
Aaliyah was supposed to be Sparkle, and it got
Wow.
put on hold when she died. So this was another second coming around. So, and Jordan Sparks was the perfect person. I mean, her name is Sparks. Hello, Jordan Sparks, to be in Sparkle. You can't make it up. Some things are just for you.
Yeah, it was perfect time for her because she was coming off of the song "No Air" with Chris Brown, so that whole combination was perfect.
Mm-hmm.
So from that point, you worked with award-winning actress Regina King in a drama called "Let the Church Say Amen."
That was Regina King's directorial debut. And I remember going into the BET office to audition for that role. And I saw all those people sitting there, you know, they're picking the actor, right? And Regina King was in there. I was just like, I just held my chest like, wow. All right, let's do it. So we're doing the acting role. And then Regina said, I want us to do it one more time. I said, okay. And she said, but this time I want to read with you. I'm like, I get a chance to like, what?
Wow.
Like before I was just reading with another actor.
Right.
She said, I want to read the other lines and I'm going to be the other person this time. I said, okay. So she started doing the lines and she came up in my face and she pushed my shoulder.
Wow.
And I held, and that character to me would have had a Bible in her hand. So I was holding my Bible and I said, you better be glad I got this Bible in my hand. And I told my boyfriend, you better get her. You better get it before I hurt her. Like, and I was ad-libbing. When I got done, she was like, oh my God. She was like,
wow.
You the one. And she was like, everyone else pushed her back.
Wow.
She pushed them, they pushed her back. She's like, no, that character is not even a fighter like that. She's like, and I said, I knew that. That's why I didn't push you back. She was like, exactly. That's why you got the role. Because you knew she was not that girl. That wasn't what that moment was about. You know what I'm saying? So It was I mean, I love her and her sister to this day. I really, really do.
Yeah. Was that character based off of anybody that she knew, or that was just like an organic, you know, original character?
I can't. Someone else wrote it, so I don't know.
Yeah. How did your family feel? Because they'll come from a church background. Growing up in it, and what was their thoughts? By the time it debut.
Um, it was so funny because I didn't know for a while that she gave me all those accolades in the room. But remember, my mama said, "You ain't got it till you got it." But I remember going to church and I was hosting a choir annuals day for Friendship Baptist Church in Los Angeles, California. And at the end of the musical, the choir sang the song, let the church say amen.
Yeah.
And they were, and I said, God just told me I got that role. Like I felt it. Like I knew. I was like, what are the chances that this choir would be singing, let the church say amen? And I was like, oh my God. So yeah, I don't know. It's just little things like that for me that I just see God showing up and showing out.
Then from there, you work on another project called it's David E. Talbert's solo single in 2013.
Woo! I even asked David E. Talbert, how did I get here? He's like, because you don't. I'm like, I'm opposite Garcelle Beauvais and Isaiah Washington. Let me say it again. Garcelle Beauvais, Jamie Foxx show.
Oh yeah.
Isaiah Washington. He was the Denzel Washington at the time. I'm like, how did I get here to play her best friend? Like, I was on that set like, I couldn't even believe it. Like, God is so good to me. I don't know how my name got in some of these rooms. I really don't.
Well, when you get these scripts and you read it, the character and everything, you're like, okay, I'm gonna create a face expression. I'm gonna talk like this, act like that. It's like kind of like a mental thing just to get into that character. Once the production is done, just try to get out of that character and not get stuck.
No, I don't get stuck in it because I bring a lot of Brely to my characters.
Yeah.
And then no, I'm so solid in who I am and my real authenticity that you be trying to sit Brely down before you see the character. Yeah, no, I'm pretty solid when it comes to that.
Yeah. 2014, Black Coffee.
Again, I was visiting that set. Mark Harris is the writer director on that one, and he said, "Come up here, Brely." I said, "Yeah, I'm coming through. I'm just coming to say hi to y'all." I just went up there to say what's up. He's like, "Hey, jump in. You want to jump in?" I was like, "Heck yeah!" And that I got in that scene, and I made up my own lines again. So yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah, because I meant to ask you though, because I remember watching it. Was there a lot of y'all was freestyling, even though that's one thing to read the script, but that was kind of more like y'all just coming to lines. And
that, I mean, for my part, because I wasn't even supposed to be in that movie. I just went up there to say hey, and they was like, jump in. I was like, okay.
I go back to the director and say, hey, no, keep that in. I like that.
Yeah, that's just how a lot of my roles have been.
Yeah. Then you work with Christian Keys again. The project called The Man in 3B, with Anthony Montgomery, Robert Richard, Defensa Wills, D.B. Woodson, Kalita Smith, oh God, James Black, Jackie Harry, come on now, Marlon Gibbs, and Billy D. Coke 45 Williams.
But don't forget Lamont Rucker, my first
on-screen. Oh yeah, I definitely got to mention that. Yeah,
that was my first on-screen kiss to where I was like, "Is this what y'all doing in Hollywood?" Oh my God! So
oh wow,
yeah.
Man, but when it comes to like those kissing scenes and stuff like that, I always hear some people like, they'll laugh. They'd be like, oh God, I'm married and, I don't want my
I wasn't married.
partner to get mad.
We weren't married, neither one of us at the time.
Yeah.
But it's like he's like my brother though, which is kind of gross, but we got
And okay, so from there, you play a leader role in You Can't Fight Christmas in 2017.
Oh, that's one of my favorite movies. I love a good Christmas movie. That was fantastic. Loved it.
Yeah. Then also on television, you had a recurring roles in BT drama, being Mary Jane from 2014 to 2015. And that's a great show and stuff. How did you get that role?
Audition once again, same producers, Mara and Salim Akil. They put me on. When I tell you, love them.
Oh wow. Then after that, TV One comedy called Born Again Version. Listen, I remember watching that, project. I said, I love it. That could have been like a mini series, in my opinion and stuff. I mean, y'all energy was just like impactful, That's my opinion on that.
I love it.
Yeah. So, you know what? I want to bring this up too, though, because you got music on Spotify, and I want to bring it up and stuff, And I was like, I said, you know what? While I'm talking to, I was like, let me bring that up. I'm over here. Okay, let me see where we at.
R&B, baby. I love me some R&B. That's why I love the name of your show.
I appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? Well, for saying that. I mean, so that made me feel good. That made me feel good and stuff. It's one thing, you as an actress, you say last time you might have to yell, scream, whatever. Then, you sing it and stuff. I mean, how you manage your voice over the years, when it comes to singing, especially, the older you get, life experience and everything.
Mm-hmm. What are you saying? So the question
Not saying like how you manage your voice, through the years, as you get older, to maintain it and stuff. Because I know, like, when it comes to acting, a lot of things involved with yelling and screaming. And if you got to sing that next day, try to sound clear.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Just use your gift. I've never had an issue with it.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. So, okay, here we go. And we pop it up. Let's get it. Okay. So the latest single, correct me on this one, is Friend Zone in 2025. Yeah. So how did this single come about?
So I was writing with my boys, Isaac and Johnny, and I said, oh, I had a story to tell. I love pulling from my personal business, from my friend's business, and I write about it. So we wrote this song, Friend Zone, and I was sitting, it had sat on the shelf for some time. And then all of a sudden, one of my industry friends cast me in a movie called Friend Zone. I said, girl, I got a song called Friend Zone too. So I put the song out that I already wrote that to help promote the movie. So that was just, again, God showing up. The same title, movie, song, put them out, and it worked wonderfully.
Yeah. Yeah, because you put out a sprinkle of songs. Did that, now on the singing part, did it come in full circle to where you was when you was a kid coming up and be an army group to where you are now? Did that kind of come in full circle moment, for you as far as being solo?
Absolutely, because I've always wanted to be a performer. So it's just been a blessing that I've really been working at my craft since I could talk, right? So it's like I've been singing in the church choir since I was 2. So, it's just when God puts something in you, even when the world, because my parents were telling me, go to school, get a degree, get a job. And I was like, I'm about to sing, dance, and act. And it was like, oh God, you need a job, But I don't know. I was headstrong and I was like, no, I'm about to, and this is my life. And I'm blessed that I get to live my dreams. I get to use what God gave me authentically and make money at it and have fun doing it. So it's just all a blessing.
Yeah, one of my favorite songs that you did, and I listened to it, was like 2 days ago, was called Don't Date Down.
Hey, I'm telling all my girls, don't settle. Well, let me tell the fellas too. Yeah. I'm telling all my fellas, don't settle, don't date down. You deserve the love of your life. Just hold out for the
I appreciate
real
that.
real one. Yeah, we all deserve the real one. Like sometimes I think we jump into relationships and we don't really look, you know what I'm saying? Everything looked good on the outside, but you didn't consider like you had to look deeper into what people have going on in their lives before you jump into something. And I had jumped into something and didn't realize that I was holding someone down who couldn't hold themselves down. So it was just like, I needed to, people say, what happened to that relationship? I got so tired of people asking me, I wrote a song about it. So you want to know what happened? Buy the song. There you go.
It's crazy though, because you got some of those homegirls, and that goes with family too. They become bad influences to certain women that has a good heart, that just want to be loved, and of course everything that comes with it. It be that one particular person that's in your inner circle talking about, but you gotta listen. He got money. See, that's what becomes a problem. I don't care if the brother's a millionaire or he owns
Right,
20
because it's his
buildings.
mind. His
It's
mind
a
could be
mind
all
frame.
wrong, and that would be dating down. So I'm so glad you mentioned that because it's not about money. You know, I've said that a million times about this song. Like people think, oh, it's about money. No, it's not, because you could be rich with a poor mindset, and that is going, that's not going to take you anywhere, and you're gonna hate it there. So I employ people to, get with people who have the same heart as you. You know what I'm saying? But you got to spend some time and really be their friend first, and that will really tell a lot.
Yeah, that's sad though, because people like that, you really got to cut them off, especially they don't be no good to you, mentally and health wise anyway. Especially if
Right.
you coming out of a relationship that's just drastically
Yeah.
crazy.
Things that happen in your mind most certainly affect your body.
Yeah. So, okay, from there in 2019, you was cast in two regular role series, Bounce TV comedy series called The Last Call with Charles Malik Winfield. Hey, I liked it, The Last Call. I thought it was
Thank
pretty
you. It was
awesome.
fun. And I got to watch masters, Carl Payne. Those guys are just masters at the craft. So it was great.
Yeah. Then like later that year, you did another for Oprah Winfrey Network. Big shouts to Oprah. A primetime soap opera called Ambitious. You played a character named Rondell
Rondell
Lancaster.
Lancaster. Yeah, I love her.
Yeah. So how did you get that role for that
Audition for
situation?
it. I was literally on the set of Last Call going to lunch. They used to fry
Wow.
fish Fridays, and I wanted a piece of fish. I was walking down the hall to get some fish, and this guy who was pretty handsome was walking there too. And I looked back and I just kept walking. He was like, excuse me. You look like somebody you could play this role. And then I was like, oh, okay. And he was like, my name is Benny Boom. I was like, oh my God, the Benny Boom. And so I was like, you're gonna
Yeah.
for me one day. He started laughing. And so he was like, yeah, you Rondell all day. And so he came back the next day on my lunch break and let me audition while I was already at a job, mind you. Next thing I know, my agent came the next couple of hours with a bottle of champagne saying, girl, congratulations. You just booked another one. And that was, and Last Call was my first series regular. So that was first. And then second one was on the same set. Got it.
Wow. Because I want to ask you though, when it
And
comes
School of
to filming a
Ducksworth.
sitcom, yeah, 'cause I want to ask you too, when it comes to filming a sitcom or a TV drama series, is it 2 months of filming? Then you take a break,
Oh
then
no.
y'all do a show?
Every show is different. Sometimes it's, I mean, we shot Ambitions for 8 months
Wow.
straight. I didn't have another job. That year was taken up by Ambition. So every show's different. Some of these shows, like I said, I've been on a couple of shows where we were shooting them at the same time. So it's never a set how they do it. It's always different.
So from there, you was part of a horror anthology series called Terror Lake Drive.
Yes, that was fun too.
Yeah, and I never got a chance to see it, but I remember hearing a lot of good stuff about it. They say you
Really.
gotta watch it. And me, I'm not really big on horror,
Me
flicks.
neither, but it wasn't like that. It wasn't bloody and gory. It wasn't. It was more mind games. So it was cool.
Yeah. And the only reason why I don't, because I be looking like, oh God, don't tell me like a sister gonna die, still won't survive, and she's in
Right.
peace, got sunshine, and the
Hilarious. Yes.
Now I remember seeing your face on Country Way. I watch the show all the time and stuff like that. How did that, situation be with the actor and comedian?
I was working with Mike, Big Mike, and he was like, Brely, come through. And I was like, okay. So I just got up, jumped in as cousin Brely, and it was really fun. That was so
Yeah.
much fun. Yeah. I wish I was in Atlanta more because then I could do it more often, but I live between LA and Atlanta.
What I like about your character though, because and big shouts to Mike Bless. I know they on the writing team, everything. So your character that fought for the okie dokie. It seems like some of the women on there, it's like they get it's kind of dippy head in the mind. Then they see the dude like, oh my God. Then that's he's with somebody that knew that person. I was like, so big
I
shout
love
out to
it.
you because like your character survived throughout the whole entire time you was there, my man.
Yeah, that's because I never had a love interest on there. That's probably why.
Oh man. So later from there, okay, you was part of another plan. Okay, oh God, let me run it back. Okay, you probably throw a action called "Stop Within."
Mm-hmm.
Wow, like another one.
And another one. That was another one. I mean, I'm just so like you taking me back. I can see every show you're saying. I can see the set. I'm like, wow, okay. You don't want me out
Wow.
going over my whole discography. I'm like, wow, okay.
Yeah, I tell you, you're one of the few that I know has done film work. You got more body work than the ones I know. I know, appreciate it probably more. I know it'll be years to come though, but your body work is like unbelievable.
I can't
It's,
believe it myself because when you're bringing up stuff, I'm like, oh my God. And I remember them all like it was yesterday.
Now, on the comedy side, being a comedian, when did you know that you had that talent, on the comedy side? Because that's one
Let
of your
me clear
families
that.
tell you, but
Let me
outside people
clear
tell
that
you
all
more.
the way up. I got to clear that all the way up. I respect comedians so much that I have to say I am a comedic actress. I don't do stand up. I have tried doing stand up and I did good. I did not get booed. I've done it like maybe 4 times. And I got people were like, this is not your first time. They were like, you ain't new at this. So I could do it. Seems like it went well for me the first 4 times. So I don't know. I might try it again. But comedians are out during the week late at night. And I don't know how they be doing that. I don't have them late night clubs in
Yeah.
me. I'm not a club person at that. So it's not really like my judge.
Yeah, that's a hustle because you got to like push everything to the side, take like 5 or 6 months off to really focus on that. Go to nightclub. Then you get a special with
Yeah,
Netflix or Amazon Prime.
it's a
That's a
grind.
lot of work and stuff.
It's
On
all a
the
lot of
music,
work, right? Just different.
on the music side, is there any song that you got in the works that you gonna put out this year, or it has not really been in yet?
Ooh, good question. I don't know. I haven't thought about anything musically this year yet. Good question though. I might have to dig in the crates and make sure I at least put out one thing a year. It was what I'm hearing from you is what I need to do. So yes, I don't know yet.
Yeah, yeah, because you got a voice though, and just feel your energy. I was like, she got a lot to say. I could
Yay!
just feel it.
Come on, Bob.
I could just feel it, say, because like when I feel that, I'm like, yeah, you know what? I know she's an example for women and the right type of brothers, say that want to,
Amen.
have, success and stuff. Because I want to give you flowers for you to be part of
Thank you.
so many different eras of your career, and stuff. And has there ever been a conversation with you, your family, your friends, or your team about having a documentary or something that you want to tell the
It's so
world?
funny because you are going over all these. I promise. I said, okay, I should probably sit in a director's chair in an all white room and wear all black and sit and let somebody just record me talking about each opportunity. I literally thought about that as you were going over these things. I'm like, oh my God, this interview is going to be long because I know I've done a lot of stuff. So, but yeah, I've never thought about it. And doing this way today, I'm like, I should do that because people may not know me the way they want to, and that would be a great way for my fans to get to know me a little better. Thank you for that.
No problem. Because one thing I noticed sometimes I look at some interviews, it's so narrated and structured. And with a fan perspective, thinking that okay, this is all they done. Then it takes somebody like me, I like to bring down details so people get a chance to know your career. Not be long with it, just go straight to the point and people might miss out on some great moments that they didn't know about you,
Yeah.
and what they think they know
Right.
and everything. Uh, Now, correct me on this though. You won an award, and not too long ago, and for you, when that, when you was being awarded, what was your thoughts in your head? Like, oh my God, I can't believe I got something I never
First of
thought
all,
that this
I
would
was
happen.
on set. I can't remember what set I was on, but I was working on a movie, so I didn't get to go to the award show. So they had
Oh
to send
wow,
my award. I didn't get to go on stage and do all the acceptance speech and all that because I was working. But super grateful to the NAACP for acknowledging me. Grateful to be nominated. I felt like I won when I was nominated. That was winning for me, was just to be seen. You know, I don't do this work for awards. I do it for the reward, because I'm rewarded every time a stranger knows my name and I'm walking in the mall. You know, every time a stranger says, "Oh my God, is that Junior's wife?" You know, like I'm rewarded by God's people having a smile on their face when they hear my name or see my face. So that's my reward.
Absolutely. Before we get up out of here, just want to say thank you for taking the time to coming on here. You know, it's a pleasure to have you on here. I feel like I got a legend, on this platform, like another notch, under my belt. So I'm getting
Hey,
close to 500 interviews, probably
come
next month or
on.
whatever.
Awesome.
Yeah, I just been coasting since what, 2019. Yes, I've been on a high road for a minute,
I'm proud
but
of you. That's amazing.
your legacy, your work speaks for itself, for you to be multi-talented, because I don't know too many people that could do comedy, drama, and could sing. Can sit here and say, "Oh, well, I could do all this." Some people are good at one or two, but when God gives you that gift, they're saying something, So, you're
Amen.
definitely blessed by that.
All glory. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Glory to
So
God.
as of February 2026, what you got plans for the rest of this month? Anything's like on
All I
schedule.
know is y'all better run to Tubi right now. Run to Tubi. Run those numbers up on my brand new show that I'm also an executive producer of, called Love Don't Pay the Bills. It is on Tubi. I'm the leading lady alongside of Blue Kimball. So excited to introduce a lot of new talent on that series. And it's going to be so amazing. We literally start tonight. So please, for when y'all finish your Valentine's Day dates and everything, go home, turn on Tubi, and turn on Love Don't Pay the Bills by Silk White. Silk White is the producer, director, writer of that show. And it's just a blessing to be on it.
All right. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Brely Evans, came on
Thank
the R&B
you.
Talk Show, and looking forward to have you on here, and more movies, TV show appearances, and more music. So, hey, let's get it.
Thank you so much for having me. God bless you.
All right. We are out of here.
Peace.
Peace.